Welcome back to Electron Devices and Circuits lecture video series. In this video, we are going to discuss about the characteristics of BJT. At the end of the video, you will be able to understand the characteristics of a transistor in three different types of configuration, that is common base, common emitter and common collector. So let's see the configurations one by one. The first one is, what is the purpose of plotting the characteristics of the transistor? So generally it's not only a transistor, any device, the characteristics can be plotted in order to understand how the device behaves with respect to changes in voltage and current. So from that characteristics we can able to understand the behavior of the entire device completely. So these characteristics curves for a transistor can be plotted in two ways. One is input characteristics and another characteristics is output characteristics. So generally for any device the input characteristics can be plotted with respect to input voltage and input current at a constant output voltage. And the output characteristics is, it is the curve plotted between output voltage and output current at a constant input current. So these two definitions is a constant one, so keep this in mind, and we can able to use this definition for different types of configurations. And these two characteristics completely describes the static operation of a transistor. That means with the help of biasing voltage alone, how the transistor is behaving, that can be clearly understood by plotting the two types of characteristics of a transistor. Let's see how these characteristics can be plotted for each and every configuration of a transistor in detail. So first one is, we will discuss about the common base configuration. So this is the circuit diagram for the common base configuration of a transistor. Common base, you know the diagram, base terminal is kept as common between the input and output. So the left side is the input side and the right side is the output side, and here the base terminal is acting as a common terminal between the input and the output. So that's why this is called common base configuration. And I already informed you, emitter and the collector terminals are always opposite to each other. In common base, so emitter is kept on left side, collector is on the right side. So this is the input side connections. So here for applying the biasing voltage we are using a potential divider arrangement. So this is the potential divider arrangement, and this voltage VEE and this voltage VCE is the biasing voltage. This voltage can be varied according to our convenience. That is possible with the help of this potential divider arrangement. So according to the position of this variable point, or otherwise called Viper contact, the amount of voltage that is applied to the input terminals as well as the amount of voltage that is applied to the output terminals of a transistor may vary. So here both on the input side and output side, for measuring the voltage and current, we are having the voltmeter and ammeter. Voltmeter is normally connected in parallel to the voltage whose voltage we want to measure, and ammeter is normally connected in series. And see here the polarities on the input voltage and currents and output voltage and currents. So this RS is nothing but the current limiting resistor. So when you consider the input side, so this is the input side, I already informed you this is the biasing voltage, and this current is called, what is the input current? So emitter terminal is connected to the input, so emitter current is the input current, and input voltage is the voltage between the emitter and the base is called as an input voltage. This is because this is voltage is on this side, so this is the input voltage. Similarly output voltage is VCB, because the terminals available on the right side is the output terminal, so this voltage is the output voltage, whereas this is simply biasing voltage, and the output current is the collector current. So and the polarity of these meters is normally represented according to the voltage source and current flowing direction. So this voltage source is VCE is top is positive, bottom is negative. So this voltmeter also top positive, bottom negative, because this voltmeter is normally used to measure the voltage across the Viper contact and to the ground terminal. So this voltage the voltmeter is going to observe. and this ammeter is normally used to measure the current flowing through this line. So normally the current positive terminal here, the current will flow in this direction, so entering is positive, leaving is negative, so that's why the polarity is here. So similarly on this side, so this is an PNP transistor. So PNP transistor, in the sense the collector current is flowing away from the terminal. So current is flowing in this direction. So the entering is positive, leaving is negative. So when you consider here, the current is flowing in this direction. So entering is positive, leaving is negative. And this voltmeter measures the potential drop across this point. So this terminal is negative, so this terminal is negative, and this is positive, so this is positive. So this is the circuit diagram we are going to use for plotting the input characteristics and output characteristics of a common base configuration of a transistor. Right, let's see how the characteristics can be plotted. So as I already told you, there are two characteristics we need to plot. One is the input characteristics and another one is output characteristics. First one is input characteristics. So this input characteristics can be plotted between the input voltage and input current. I already informed you what is input voltage. VBE is input voltage. Input current is IE is the input current. Always voltage is taken on x-axis, current is taken on y-axis. VBE is taken on x-axis, so IE is taken on y-axis. So this characteristics can be plotted at a constant output voltage, because we have already discussed. So input characteristics, the curves gives the relationship between input current and input voltage we have considered for a given output voltage. Output voltage in this configuration is VCB. So we have to keep VCB constant and we have to plot the family of input characteristics. So let's see how this characteristics is plotted. So first one, we are keeping the VCB voltage as 0 volt. So normally in a common base configuration, emitter base junction is always forward bias, collector base junction is always reverse bias. So emitter base junction we are taking as an input voltage, and collector base junction is 0 volt, means we are not at all giving reverse bias voltage to the collector junction. So under that condition, so this characteristics will be very similar to that of the diode forward characteristics. That means on the diode that is available on the emitter junction starts to conduct after its cut-in voltage. See here. So this diode, initially when we increase the voltage here, the diode will not conduct when it reaches 0.3 volt, because the diode I have considered here is germanium diode. So cut-in voltage is 0.3 volt. So after it reaches the cut-in voltage of 0.3 volt, the current flowing through the diode starts to increase exponentially. This is because of the exponential nature of the current flowing through the diode. We have already discussed in diode topic. So this is the exponential nature. So after it reaches the cut-in voltage, for a very small increase in the input voltage, the current flowing through the device, that is emitter current, increases drastically. So in an exponential manner, because VEB is the input voltage, IE is the input current. If the input voltage increases, input current also increases. That's why the characteristics is like that. And again, when we increase the reverse bias voltage, if instead of 0 volt I am increasing the reverse bias voltage to 8 volts. So now the interesting thing happens. So the characteristics is observed to be shifting in the upward direction, right? The characteristics is shifting in the upward direction. This is because of the phenomena called early effect or base width modulation. This is an important thing, early effect or base width modulation. So the meaning is, whenever there is an increase in the reverse bias voltage, the depletion region formation on the collector junction increases. So as a result, the effective base width decreases. So once if the base width decreases, only less number of charge carriers will be available in the base for recombination with the electrons emitted from the emitter region, and as a result we can say that base current decreases, which in turn increases the emitter current. So this is called as an base width modulation or early effect. So because of that, if we increase the reverse bias voltage, so compared to that of depletion layer existing for 0 volt, now it is for 8 volt, means depletion layer increases in the base side. Once if depletion layer increases, effective base area decreases, so the charge carriers in the base decreases. So these charge carriers, only less number of charge carriers in the base combines with the electrons emitted from the emitter, so base current decreases. So as a result, emitter current increases. So more number of charge carriers from the emitter is coming, and only less charge carriers gets recombines with the base region, and it results in more number of emitter currents entering into the collector terminal. So because of this, we can say that, so if reverse bias voltage increases, so emitter current increases. Right? And again, if I further increase the reverse bias voltage from 8 volt to 18 volt, still the depletion region penetrates more deeply into the base region. So still the base area, effective base area decreases. So and at the same time, only very less number of charge carriers available in the base. So out of 100% of electrons emitted from the emitter region, only very less number get recombines with the charge carriers in the base, and as a result it increases the emitter current. So since recombination, if more recombination means more number of electrons get lost in the base region, whereas here less recombination means only less number of electrons is getting wasted, and almost all the electrons are emitted from the emitter region is entering into the collector. So this increases the emitter current. So that's why the curve is shifting in the upward direction. For example, if you consider at with this particular voltage, if VBE is a 0.7 volt for a consideration, if I am taking for 0.7 volt of VBE, if VCB is a 0 volt, I am getting IE only this much amount. And similarly, if reverse bias voltage increases, see here emitter current increases, and again if I am increasing the reverse bias voltage, still emitter current is increasing. This is the emitter current increasing. So the main reason is because of what? This is base width modulation. If reverse bias voltage increases, effective base width decreases. So the out of the electrons emitted from the emitter, only less number of electrons recombines with in the base region. So more electrons are available in the emitter region now. So this increases the emitter current IE. So that's why the curve is shifting in the upward direction. So normally this is having three effects, the base width modulation. So one is emitter current increases due to less recombination in the base region. This is the first one I informed you. And second one is the concentration gradient of minority charge carriers in the base increases. So since the base is of very less area, so minority charge carriers concentrations will be very high. This is the second effect. And the third effect is, if I still increasing the reverse bias voltage from 18 volts to 28 volts or 38 volts or whatever it may be, so this increases the emitter current, but this will happen only for some particular duration of time. If I still increase the reverse bias voltage, at one instant of time effective base region will not be there, so the entire base region will be occupied by the depletion layer itself, and as a result, so if no base region means no transistor action will be there, so entire transistor action will get lost and the device will not work as a transistor. This effect is called as an punch through effect, or otherwise called reach through effects. So these are all the three effects of base width modulation. And input resistance, you know, the input resistance is nothing but change in input voltage, change in input current at a constant output voltage. So this is the input resistance. So this input resistance, which is of the order of 100 ohms in case of common base configuration, which is very less. This is because on the input side we are having only that is emitter junction. Emitter junction is always forward bias. If it is forward bias, resistance will be very less. So that less value of resistance is approximately of the order of 100 ohms. So this is the input characteristics. So we'll see about the output characteristics. So this is the output characteristics of a common base configuration. For plotting output characteristics, we have to take the output voltage on x-axis and output current on y-axis at a constant input current. See here, what is the output current? Output voltage is VCB, output current is IC, at a constant input current is IE. So here we are taking VCB on x-axis output current, IC on y-axis output, VCB on x-axis output voltage, IC on y-axis output current at a constant input current. This is IE, right? So we will see how we can able to plot these characteristics. For plotting the output characteristics of a common base transistor, you have to keep this expression in mind, that is collector current equal to IC equal to alpha into IE plus ICBO. So this expression we have discussed how to derive this expression in the previous video, and this collector current is having two terms, one is alpha into IE and another one is ICBO. This current is nothing but the current in the collector base junction, which is the output junction, with emitter terminal open. This current is nothing but the leakage current, or otherwise called as an reverse saturation current. So in this case, for plotting this characteristics, we have to keep the input current at constant. So input current is the emitter current. First we are taking a input current IE equal to 0. If input current is equal to 0, according to this expression, what happens if IE equal to 0, this term will get neglected. This term will get neglected, and remaining only one term present for collector current expression. IC is equal to ICBO, that is only leakage current. So this is the leakage current. So in this area, so if as long as IE equal to 0, the current flowing through the device is nothing but the leakage current. Since this leakage current is always constant, it does not depend upon the changes in the reverse bias voltage. It is independent because it depends only on the minority charge carriers. So minority charge carriers remains constant, so the collector current also remains constant due to leakage current. So this is the first one, and second one is I am increasing the input current, that is emitter current, from 0 milliamps to 2 milliamps. So now see what happens if IE increases. So this term is having some contribution. So this emitter current, 2 milliamps emitter current multiplied by this alpha, this term will get added to the leakage current. So previously the leakage current is this much magnitude. Now this leakage current magnitude get added to this magnitude. So now the magnitude get increases. So this is the collector current, now new collector current, and this collector current remains constant for whatever may be the increase in the reverse bias voltage. This is because we are keeping the emitter current as a constant one. In all transistor, emitter current will be approximately equal to collector current. Since emitter current is kept constant, so the collector current is also assumed to be remain constant. That's why you are getting a saturated line here. And again, if I am still increasing the values of IE from 2 to 4 milliamps, 6 milliamps, 8 milliamps, like that, for each and every increase in the emitter current, so this term will get increase. So as this term increase, and as a result collector current also increases. That's why for every increase in emitter current, that is emitter current for 8 milliamps, collector current is this much magnitude. And after that, for the further increase in the reverse bias voltage VBE, for the same IE equal to 8 milliamps, the current remains constant. This is because of the concept emitter current is approximately equivalent to collector current. And this region of operation, we call it as an active region of operation. In active region only we can able to use the transistor as an amplifier. But when you consider here, so emitter current is equal to 8 milliamps, which is the input current. Since if the input current is 8 milliamps, output current is the collector current, which is approximately equivalent to 8 milliamps. So input current is also 8 milliamps, output current is also approximately 8 milliamps. So when you consider the current gain alpha, which will not be much higher than the input, that means output is not much higher compared to that of input. So amplification is not that much effective in case of an common base configuration. Right, so that is the reason why here, because alpha is always less than 1. So common base configuration is not best preferable for doing amplification. So this is one mode of operation, active mode or active region. Another two region of operation is saturation region and cutoff region. Cutoff region is possible when both the junctions are reverse bias. So when both the junctions are reverse bias, what will happen? So when both the junctions are reverse bias, depletion layer width will be very high on both the junction side. So it won't allow the current to flow through it, because charge carriers are not permitted to cross the junction. And as a result of it, only a small amount of current flows through the junction due to minority charge carriers. That current is called as an leakage current. So this region of operation, we call it as an cutoff region. In cutoff region, the transistor is said to be acting as an open switch. and another region of operation is called saturation region. Saturation region is possible when both the junctions are forward bias. So emitter junction is forward bias, collector junction is also forward bias. When both the junctions are forward bias, so normally the depletion layer will be very less, width will be very less when under forward bias condition. So as a result, both emitter junction as well as collector junction depletion layer width will be very less. So only depletion layer is responsible for creating the resistance at the junction. So resistance at both the junctions will also be very less. So as a result, it increases the output current. So that's why here in saturation region, so for any increase in the reverse bias voltage, that is a VCB voltage, it increase in collector current. See here, there is a rising curve here. See, there is a rising curve. So this shows there is an increase in collector current. This is because both the junctions are forward bias. You know, under forward bias, a large movement of charge carriers will be there. So this results in the drastic increase in the collector current, which is the output current. So in saturation region, the transistor acts as an closed switch. So a cutoff region, saturation region and active region. These are all the three regions of operations in output characteristics of a transistor. For amplifier, we can use it in active region. If you want to use the transistor as a switch, we can use alternatively in cutoff region and saturation region. So this is the output characteristics of a common base transistor. In addition, if you want to get an output resistance, which is nothing but the change in the output voltage by change in output current at a constant input current. So this is the output resistance of a common base. In common base, input resistance will be very less, which is of order of 100 ohms, and output resistance will be very high in terms of kilo ohms. So keep this in mind. So this is the input, and I hope you understand the input and output configurations, characteristics of common base configuration. So now let's go into the common emitter configuration. So common emitter in the sense, out of the three terminals, emitter, base and collector, here emitter terminal is kept as a common terminal between the input side as well as on the output side. So all those connections we have discussed in the previous configuration itself. So here only changes, emitter terminal is kept as common, and here the input current is base current and output current is collector current. Input side voltage is VBE because the voltage is taken on base terminal and emitter terminal. This voltage is VBE and output side voltage is VCE. And as I already informed you, this VBB and VCC is nothing but the biasing voltage. In order to increase or decrease the biasing voltage fed to the common emitter transistor, here you are having a potential divider arrangement. And voltmeter and ammeter polarities, as I told you in the previous circuit diagram, you have to follow the same thing. So this voltmeter connected across this voltage, so the same polarity, positive, negative. Here the current is flowing in this direction. So when you consider here, the current direction is in this direction, current is moving in this direction, so entering positive, leaving negative. And here the collector current is moving in this direction because entering positive, leaving negative. And this transistor, what I have considered is NPN transistor. In NPN transistor, current is allowed to be flowing away from the emitter terminal. That's why emitter current away, and here base current is going in this direction and collector current is going in this direction. So one thing you have to make a note of it here. Here you see here collector current is in milliamp, base current is in microamps. So we are using milliammeter for measuring the collector current and microammeter for measuring the base current. This is because you know emitter current, collector current is approximately equivalent to emitter current. Emitter current will be very high in nature. So for measuring the collector current we are using milliamps. But for base current it contributes only 2% of total emitter current. So it will be very less. So we are using the microammeter for measuring the base current. So this is the circuit diagram for common emitter configuration. Let's discuss about the input characteristics of common emitter. So input characteristics, I am taking the input voltage. What is the input voltage here? So VB is the input voltage, IB is the input current. So VBA is taken on x-axis, IB is taken on y-axis, which is in microammeter at a constant output voltage. So what is the output voltage here? VCE. So at a constant VCE. Right. So here this characteristics is also very similar to common base. Only one difference here we will discuss. So first you take the characteristic VCE equal to 0. If VCE is equal to 0 in the sense, if the emitter voltage, that means the output terminal voltage is kept as 0, and if you are increasing the input voltage and observing the input current, automatically in all devices, if input voltage increases, normally input current increases. So here also the same thing happens. After the cut-in voltage of 0.3 volt for germanium transistor, the input current flowing through the transistor starts to increase. So this is the VCE equal to 0 curve, starts to increase exponentially. This is because the transistor follows the diode's behavior. So diode output forward bias characteristics is exponential in nature. So here also the transistor is also having the same characteristics. Whereas here we are plotting the family of characteristics. So here before that, here one thing you have to keep it in mind. So the same nature you got it in common base transistor also, but one difference here is, here we are plotting the base current. In common base we have plotted the emitter current. So here base current will be very small in magnitude. This is because common emitter configuration input resistance is very high, which is of the order of 700 ohms, whereas in common base it is of order of 100 ohms. So input resistance less means input current will also be current will be very high, whereas here it is of 700 ohms, so resistance will be high compared to that of common base. So input current will be somewhat low. So input current increases, but this does not increases much as compared to that of common common base configuration, right? So nature of characteristics we will get same, but in common base emitter current increases drastically, but in common emitter the base current increases slowly because input side is having high resistance. Keep this in mind. And again if we increase the output side voltage, that is a reverse bias voltage, if I am increasing, so let's see what's happening. So if I am increasing the VCE to 10 volt, so in this case you have to keep it in mind this expression. So VCE is the output side voltage. So this voltage is normally taken as, so VCE is the output side voltage. So this voltage will be equivalent to, okay, we can write VCE in between terminal is base terminal. So we can write VCE equal to VCB plus VBE. When you join these two, this base and base cancel and you can get VCE. This is a shortcut way to remember. So VCE can be written as VCB plus VBE. So in this case, what I am doing, I am increasing the VCE voltage from 10 volts to 0 volt to 10 volt. If VCE increases, what happens? So VCB is also increases. VCB is actually what? VCB is the voltage across the collector and base terminal, which is actually the reverse bias voltage. So this voltage only reverse biases the common emitter transistor. If this output voltage VCE increases, reverse bias voltage also increases. If reverse bias voltage of collector junction increases, depletion layer width increases, so effective base width decreases. As a result, base current decreases. See here, base current decreases. So this is same as such that of the base width modulation what we discussed in common base transistor. The same thing happens. So base current decreases. So since base current decreases, the curve is shifting in the downward direction. Whereas in common base, the curve was shifted in the upward direction. Whereas in common emitter, it is shifting in the downward direction. This is because we are observing only base current. So base current will be very less. So due to the base width modulation, if we increase the VCE voltage, so VCB increases. So effective base width reduces. So base current decreases. So that is the reason. Again, if I am still increasing the VCB, still base current decreases. So when you consider for 0.8 volt of VBE, if I am considering IB means for VCE equal to 0 volt, IBE is somewhat high. And again for the same VBE voltage, if I am taking VCE is equal to 10 volt, corresponding IB is equal to somewhat less, 20 microamperes only. If I am still taking increasing the voltage VCE for 20 volt, still I am getting decreased value of IB. So this is evident here. So this IB decreases. This is because of the phenomena called base width modulation. Right. So that is the reason why the curve is shifting in the downward direction. This is the reason. Right, and here the input resistance will be change in input voltage, change in input current at a constant output voltage. Here input resistance is somewhat high compared to that of common base, which is of the order of 700 ohms. And this is the behavior of input characteristics of common emitter. Let's discuss about the output characteristics of common emitter. So output characteristics, we have to take the output voltage on x-axis and output current on y-axis, and this curve is plotted for a constant input current, which is nothing but base current. Let's see how this characteristics curves is plotted. For this you have to keep these two expressions in mind. The first equation is emitter current is equal to base current plus collector current, and the second equation is we have derived the expression for the collector current in a common emitter configuration. This becomes beta into IB plus 1 plus beta into ICBO. And one more expression is VCE is equal to VCB plus VBE. These expression we have already discussed in input characteristics. So the operation of the output characteristics depends entirely on these three expressions. Now we will see this. First we are going to plot the characteristics, output characteristics between output voltage and output current at a constant input current. Input current is base current. So initially by keeping the base current initially IB equal to 0, according to this expression, if IB is equal to 0, this term entirely becomes 0, and beta, beta is nothing but IC by IB. If IB equal to 0, beta is also IC is also equal to 0, so this contribution will not be there. So 1 plus 1 into ICBO contribution alone be there. This is nothing but the leakage current or reverse saturation current. That is the only current flowing through the transistor when IB equal to 0. So this leakage current is assumed to be remains constant for whatever may be the changes in VCE. So this leakage current does not depends on any of the voltage. It depends only on the minority charge carriers. So this is assumed to be remains constant. And again, if you are increasing the value of base current from 10 milliamps, 20 milliamps, 30 milliamps like that, if a base current increases, what will be the changes in the collector current? So that means if base current, by using this expression, if base current increases, that base current multiplied by that beta, you will get some new term. That value will get added to the already existing leakage current. So this becomes already existing leakage current is this much. Now I am increasing the value to this much. So total collector current will be approximately 2 milliamps for base current is equal to 20 microamperes. Like that, if I am increasing the values of IB, the curve will be shifting in the upward direction. This is because if IB increases, this term also increases. So in addition, the collector current increases. So that's why the curve is shifting in upward direction. So here one thing you have to note it down here. In common base configuration, this characteristics curve will be a constant straight line in the active region, whereas here you are getting a slope, upward rising slope you are having. The main reason for that is this one. This is because according to this expression, here on the x-axis I am increasing the value of VCE. If VCE increases, so what happens means VCB also increases. Right, VCB also increases. VCB is actually the collector base voltage, which is the voltage responsible for reverse biasing the collector junction. So I can say the reverse bias voltage increases. If reverse bias increases, according to the base width modulation, what will happen? The collector junction depletion region width will get increases. So effective base region width will get decreases. So base current decreases. See here the base current decreases. If base current decreases, according to this equation, if this base current decreases, collector current increases. This is because emitter current is approximately equal to these two terms. So if this decreases, collector current increases. That's why the collector current is increasing here. Whereas in input characteristics, the same phenomena, but we have plotted base current there. Base current is decreasing. That's why the curve was shifted in the downward direction. Whereas here we are plotting the collector current. Collector current is increasing. That's why we are getting the slope in the characteristics. So this is the main reason. That's why when we increasing the value of base current again and again, the same thing will happen. So this region of operation we call it as active region, because in this region when you observe, the input current is in terms of microamperes, whereas output current you are getting in terms of milliamperes. So actually the amplification takes place from microamperes to milliamperes here. That is the main reason why common emitter transistor is widely used for amplification purpose. So for doing amplification, we have to use the transistor in active region. So another region here, cutoff region, as usual, both the junctions are reverse bias. The current will not flow. Only current flowing is the reverse saturation current, that is also constant throughout the operation. And whatever may be the changes in VCE, this current will not change. And in saturation region, both the junctions are forward bias. So forward bias, forward resistance will be very less. So it allows the charge carriers to get diffused across the junction. So it results in the large flow of current through it. Hence the collector current increases here. So this is the three regions of operation of a transistor in common emitter. So next we will see about the common collector transistor configuration. Here the collector terminal is kept as a common terminal between the input and the output. Here left side is the input side and right side is the output terminal. These two are the biasing voltage, as we already discussed, and emitter junction is forward biased and collector junction is reverse biased with the help of this voltage. And here the ammeter measuring the base current in terms of microamperes, and here ammeter for measuring emitter current is in terms of milliamperes. Here input current is IB, input voltage is this voltage VCB or VBC, whatever it may be, and output current is emitter current IE, and output voltage is emitter collector voltage VCE. So first one, for plotting the input characteristics. So this is the input characteristics of common collector. This is completely different compared to that of common base and common emitter configuration. Let's see how this is working. So we are taking the input voltage VCB on x-axis and input current IB in microamperes on y-axis. And this characteristics is plotted by keeping the VCE constant. So this expression you have to keep it in mind for understanding this characteristics. So you know that VCE equal to VCB plus VBE. From this, VBE can be written as VCE minus VCB. So by keeping this expression, we can say here, I am keeping the voltage VCE, output voltage, at 2 volt constant. I am keeping output voltage, this voltage is I am keeping as constant at 2 volt. I am increasing the value of x-axis. X-axis what I am having? VCB. I am increasing the value of VCB. This voltage is constant. I am increasing the value of VCB. At each and every value of VCB, what happens? This VBE voltage decreases. This is because I am increasing VCB from 1 volt, 1.5 volt, 2 volt. 1 volt means this becomes 2 minus 1, 1. And again 1.5 volt means 2 minus 1.5, 0.5. And again 2 means this becomes 0. So this is getting on decreasing. If I am increasing this, this is getting on decreasing. If VBE decreases, what happens to IB? VBE is the voltage responsible for circulating the base current IB. If VBE decreases, IB also decreases. That's why the curve is decreasing in the downward direction. But see here, within a very small change in the voltage, the base current comes to 0. Initially, when the VCB equal to, while increasing VCB equal to 1 volt, we are having the base current of some approximately 90 microamperes. And immediately when input voltage is 1.8 or greater than 1.5 volt, immediately the base current will be reducing to 0. This is because of this problem. And again, I am increasing the value. I am getting another family of curve by using another value of VCE. If VCE is kept at 4 volt instead of 2 volt, now I am keeping at 4 volt, and again I am increasing the value of VCB. The same nature of characteristics I can able to get, but this is obtained after some time, after some high values of VCB. This is because I am keeping at a 4 volts here. And this is the way how the input characteristics of common collector is behaving. Right, this is exclusively different. And the next one is output characteristics. So when you consider output characteristics plotted between output voltage and output current at a constant input current. So this characteristics will be very similar to that of the output characteristics of common emitter. In common emitter, the only difference is y-axis. In y-axis and common emitter we have plotted for collector current, whereas here common collector we have plotted for emitter current, whereas x-axis and constant parameters both are same. Right? So even though the y-axis differ, why I am telling this that these two characteristics are same.
This is because we know that at any instant of time in a transistor, collector current is approximately equivalent to that of the emitter current. So in y-axis, instead of emitter current, I am taking collector current here, and I am getting the characteristics very similar to that of the output characteristics of common emitter configuration. So while writing this explanation for this characteristics, you can write the same explanation as such in common emitter output, with only difference wherever you are using IC there, here you have to replace that by IE. That should be the only change. And this expression you have to keep it in mind under the collector current expression. Right, so this behaves exactly in the same way. So this is the active region, and this is cutoff region, and this is saturation region. Saturation region on switch, cutoff region off switch, and active region transistor used as an amplifier. So one of the main application of common collector is it is widely used for impedance matching. Impedance matching in the sense common collector is having very high input resistance and very low output resistance. Normally this can be used as an intermediate device between the high impedance source and low impedance load in order to avoid the voltage drop in between the source and the load. So this device acts as a perfect impedance matcher for high impedance load and low impedance source. Right, at the end of this session, you got a clear understanding about how the transistor characteristics can be plotted for different configurations like common base, common emitter, and common collector. Common base is widely used for amplifier for radio frequency signals, and common emitter is widely used amplifier for amplifying audio frequency signals, and common collector is widely used for impedance matching. Correct. So this is the applications of common all three configurations of a transistor. So in the next video, we are going to get some updates about the next topic in the second unit. Keep on watching the video. Thank you.